What's up, everybody? It's me, True Star Screamer, and it is Thursday night. It is 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and you know what that means? That I'm on the wrong side of things here. Hold on there. There we go. That feels much more comfortable.
You gotta warn me. I get motion sickness when you do stuff like that.
But it is Thursday night, it is Eastern Time, and it is time for the FigureAction podcast. That is right, where a bunch of grown men sit here and complain about toys meant for ages 4 and up. Which that means we qualify for the 4 and up. But if we need to, don't worry. If we need to bring, we got a 13. We also do 13 and up too. And love you, kiddo. What? I actually have a kid. A lot of people have trouble believing that I could actually, get a woman's interest. I don't just wear this for show, folks.
It's all about the toys, kids.
All about the toys. Anyway,
You've already got a kid on the stream.
This is true.
First of all, if you haven't guessed, we have a guest tonight. That is right. We've got Quaid Cundall from Corsair Creations, which is a project that I and Mike have become really tied to. We've become really endeared to. We are excited for. We're hyped for this, if you haven't figured it out yet. We have signed up on the crew. We did not get shanghaied. We are ready for this ship to sail on and bring us all kinds of adventure. So first of all, Quaid, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. And you guys are some of the best to talk to. And you guys have been really integral teammates. I wasn't expecting that first stream to not only walk away with just some really genuine fans, but some really genuine friends. And you guys mean very much to me.
As I said, we're very welcome. Thank you. As we said, we've been endeared. Mike and I got to spend a lot of good time with these guys over at Legions Con. Hopefully those of you who were at Legions Con got to see these guys' table. It's pretty neat things. Most important thing to know, yes, we will be talking about the Kickstarter, when it's going to be happening. We hopefully get some more images and things to show off. And the most important thing to know is the guy in the skull is named Death Moid, M-O-I-D.
Oh, whatever. One time
or 12.
Yeah, Anyway, so yeah, tonight's show is going to be jam-packed. What's also jam-packed is our continuing increase in subscriber numbers. We are 941. That's 59 away. If my math is right.
Math is somewhere in there.
All right.
That's because all these people who are in the chat are awesome. All of you who are watching are awesome. All of you in the replay squad is awesome. And you, yeah, I'm talking about you, who's feeling down on yourself. You are awesome. I'm actually well rested today. What can I say? Speaking of some extra awesome people, though, we have those in our live chat. We have Toy Mafia in here, man. It is great to see you. We got McClarrigan in here, one of our fantastic mainstays. Hail to the Titan, who's in every damn chat room I always wander into. Aquateki, a man of style and grace. Venom Bite, who, old school anime. That's my bro. I've never met the guy, but I'll still take a bullet for him. No, she's not adopted. And of course,
nope.
Oh wait, that's Toy Mafia again. Good to see him. And for any of you guys who are in the chat, absolutely feel free to comment. We will bring you guys onto the show because every one of your chats is a super chat, as I love to say. Oh, man, we got Thor. It is Thor. It's been a hot minute. Good to see you in the chat.
We will talk about you, Thor, or someone like you. But
that Thor has no soft goods.
Oh man, what do we got for news, bro?
It is I will say tonight is going to be an exciting episode. I will also warn you now. I have been notorious for going fast through the news. Tonight's going to be one of those nights. We've got a lot to go through. We've got a lot to talk about. But first of all, Mike, how's your week? Did you get anything cool?
Week has been busy, man. To say the least. Just trying to get through with stuff here with work. We have a 8-year-old sleepover to get ready for, so my sanity is already shot. But I did get a few things, and some things are going to come in, so I'm just going to kind of go through real quick. First and foremost, the new wave is coming through, and I got hit and run in this week. Lifeline's coming on Saturday. I have some thoughts that I will be getting through here. What else? Oh, I know I already reviewed this guy once, but I kind of gave him to T-Man, but I found another battle damage Spidey for $20 at Walmart. So yeah, all those posts where things are going on clearance, it's happening for some stuff. Valiverse Field Tin and Reaper are coming tomorrow, so I'll kind of go through those over the weekend. The other stuff.
You bought the Field Tin.
I did buy the Field Kit because I'm insane, and I couldn't wait till ZoaCon. But something else that I totally forgot that I had ordered and pre-ordered arrived today, and that is my Zestray Studios Thrain, the Shredder. I like the Minotaur type thing, and especially now that I've had some of the actual figures, this guy's pretty neat. I think I have the big cat somewhere.
I've got the big cat and I've got the rhino. I was actually really impressed with their large creatures. I think.
This guy moves really well. The knees are nice import style, nice tolerances, so it's a good figure. But good news is the other two females, based off of the studio's posts, is they will be shipping out soon. So I'm excited for that.
Have you seen the add-on kits that you can actually convert the Minotaurs and the large creatures to like military style?
I have not. I don't know if I want to, because that's going to be another rabbit hole.
It is. It's cool though. It's really cool.
Well, that's all I got this week. But what about you, Dave?
Mine is actually much more reduced. It's been a slow week. I did just hit a ship button though for Big Bad Toy Store, so hopefully I'll have some cool stuff coming in next week. I had that whole thing of stuff showed up, I hit ship, and then something else just showed up the next day, and I'm like, I want it. I bought something.
I've been holding off.
I ended up buying something I kind of wanted but didn't want, so I ended up, just so I could justify shipping the other thing.
Gotcha.
Spoiler: it might be Street Fighter related. But I got some Joes in the week. I've got my my own hit and run figure, as well as I got my Lifeline figure. Again, I also have my thoughts, but I've already recorded them and posted them. So go check out my channel. It's the reviews. I did a double review for these guys, and it was interesting. Like I say, it started off with I thought I would like one over the other, and it kind of, after handling them, things did not go the way I anticipated. So, like I said, I got my thoughts. So they might be
all right,
but that's my stuff. Quaid, how was your week? Did you get anything? Did you pick up any plastic?
Well, I'm going to be the boring one here today because I'm afraid while you're busy trying to make a toy line, you no longer have money for toys. So I don't remember the last thing that I got in the mail. I seriously don't. I think it's been since Christmas that I had anything new. I have some things, maybe 2 things on order that I'm excited for, but those won't be here for quite a while. So I wish I had something to show off. It's just my pretty face, apparently.
It is.
There you go. We're clipping that. All right. Let's hit some news then.
Let us talk. Yes, let us talk. As I always like to start off with for those of you who are new here to the show, please hit that like and subscribe button. Oh, what's up, Soundwave? Good to see you. And it has been, yeah. It's T-Man, he's got a really bad webcam, and unfortunately it's affecting both his audio and we have to adjust the lighting in his room.
His natural good looks.
Oh, man.
Studio Series Wave 2 that is coming out, and there's some neat things. First of all, This Astro Train looks amazing.
Yeah?
I think this is this is new. This is not the rehash of the Earth Siege. I don't think. If it is, then the colors are just dead on perfect.
Nope, it looks like it's a new mold or at least new parts to go with it. But
I like the effects. I really do. I like it a lot better than that weird trailer that he had with all those add-on weapons. So
yeah, I liked it. But see, that's the thing. I liked it. I liked the little add-on things, but I also picked up the third-party, not caboose, but cart that went with the Fans Toys guy.
I liked them, but it was like, again, I think they were unnecessary to me, and they drove up the price of the toy. So like this, I like everything I see here. I like the blaster effects. I like the rocket effects. I love the smoke effect. So, and again, I've been reading the Energon comics, so Astro Train just got that much cooler. So that one's got me excited. But speaking of the siege mode, this looks like the exact same Shockwave without those parts. Who's totally ship.
Yep. What do you think as a Transformers fan, Quake?
Well, a few hours ago, I had a chance to examine some of these, and I'm probably gonna be the resident Debbie Downer here this evening because I'm not impressed with any of these. I'm afraid.
You're not. You're fine, dude. This is the whole thing.
What's so with this one? What gets you?
Well, my only hang up when it comes to what we're switching to now as far as Transformers is we're very much focusing on that cartoon accuracy, which is not necessarily for everybody. It's not something that makes me jump up and down. What they did with the War for Cybertron trilogy was what made me, as someone who tends to prefer the more realistic approach to a Transformer, start enjoying some of those G1 designs just because they were a little bit more detailed and intricate. And so now that we've switched into the 86 aesthetic, hard and fast, I'm not as excited. But this Shockwave is a rehash. For one, he is pretty much the same toy, he's just smoothed out, so he's not terribly exciting for me. And I'm very happy with that Astro Train's robot mode. I have to say, he could just be terribly mistransformed, but I appreciate the smoke effect, and the train mode looks nice, but everything else kind of makes me sick, I'm afraid. I do very much like that siege mold. It does a lot right for me. And I just, with what I'm seeing with these photos, I'm not very excited. And it's too bad because I absolutely love Astro Train and Shockwave. They're two of my most favorites. Shockwave looks fine. He's a perfectly good figure because the siege figure is good, but it's a little boring for my take anyway.
I can't fault any of those opinions. This though, I did not. I love this, and especially because they did not transform in the movie, but that was definitely concept art of them transforming.
Kranix is cool. I like him.
Yes, this is neat. And I'm very curious what they'll retool this with as well.
Yeah, he's an interesting sculpt. I can't figure out what else they're gonna attempt to do with that, other than I assume the counterpart that's next to him in the beginning. They might recolor him, give him a different head or whatever. But his alt mode is pretty funny. But I like this because it's a new character. It's something that we've never seen in the line before.
Exactly. I mean, the alt mode was a concept. I saw that in a sketchbook on the internet once. This is pretty neat.
Maybe they'll repackage him with a Sharkticon.
Yeah, that would be.
You know what?
And cool.
That would actually, I could see that happening. Actually, I could absolutely see that happening. Wheeljack, I find a little lackluster personally. I mean, it doesn't even have the wings, and it almost takes me back to freaking Combiner Wars and how simple it is, to be honest. And
unfortunately, that solid white is not helping him.
Well, no, what's not helping him is he's effectively just a retool of Sunstreaker, which makes that actually really annoys me.
Well, they're repaints. They're the same from Earthrise, which I understand why they're using them again. But if anybody was, I don't know, that Earthrise Wheeljack looked way better than this does, and so did the Earthrise Sunstreaker.
So there you go. It's money. I'd like to say when you come in these situations, it's just money saved. If you passed over it and you didn't get them back then, this is your chance.
Yeah.
But basically, they're rehashing a whole lot of stuff. But going with new stuff, they put out the trailer for Overgear. We talked about these last week. I'm gonna. Okay, this is muted. Awesome. I'm not going to go through all 2 minutes of this because again, because it does have just a whole lot of it. How can I put it? It feels like an episode, like one of those early episodes of Prime, where they barely had any going in on screen.
It reminded me of those early cyberverse. I can't remember what they were called. So it's the cyberverse webisodes that they had during Hunt for the Decepticons. And those are that's an old take. Those are a ways back. This is better animated than those were, but that's what it reminded me of anyway. And their aesthetic kind of reminds me of that too. This Ironhide reminds me a lot of Recon Ironhide, and these are exciting to me. I'll probably never get to have them, but they're very cool.
I mean, this is like, this is Mecca.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Doesn't feel it's not as kid oriented. Like when Blackout came in here, I must have watched this scene about 3 times.
Oh, the Blackout is piece de resistance.
Maybe this looks like something. That was in like in Southern Cross, which was the second Robotech series, because it actually had transforming helicopters in that.
Yeah.
But I like that these are toy accurate transformations.
Yeah.
I am interested in
I love
this
this
line.
Blackout.
Yeah. So I don't know what the whole context is going to be. If this is going to be like a web show, if this is just going to be a couple figures, or how in depth they're going to go. But this is definitely going to be an interesting thing. So then, of course, we also have our official stock images of the Overgear figures.
Yeah, if I didn't mute myself, I was going to say it was cool that you said about the toyetic side of the video, because these stock images look really cool.
Yeah.
So
I love these a lot. I'm super.
Oh dear God! I like them, but I'm not sure. I like These are going to be 115 and 130 respectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting shit.
That's gutting because they look so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we take a moment and dude, I hope you're feeling all right. Sucks to hear about the wreck.
Oh my God. Dude. I will try not to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Don't say anything funny all night long, Dave.
Thoughts are out for you, effortless.
Oh, dude, yeah, seriously.
Hopefully we'll be showing some stuff that you'll like to help take your mind off the pain.
Agreed.
Or transfer it to your wallet, one of the two. Ironhide is interesting looking. I like the colors, and I like the design. Because like you, Quaid, I liked Toon when I was growing up, but I like a little bit of flair, and this definitely reaches back.
These are doing something that I've always wanted to see, which is essentially taking that movie aesthetic and applying it to a G1 character, or the other way around. Because Blackout is taking, somebody that was not necessarily exclusive to the movie, but we all know that story. They just slapped a name on a new character. But Blackout specifically is doing, so he's taking an aesthetic that was very much established in that real world confine and kind of giving it some of those cartoon attributes to where he might fit in a couple other places in the collection. And I just think it's a really cool interpretation of the character. Ironhide's vehicle mode couldn't be more appropriate for him.
Why does he have Blackout's tail fin on there? I guess you can take parts from each other and put them. They've got these modular capabilities to it.
These are like what the G.I. Joe crossovers should be.
In a way, yes. Okay, first of all, again, this is over $100,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's still all plastic though.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
but
don't think there's
if it is all new
diecast.
tooling.
Yep.
I
Totally new
understand
sculpt.
it's all new tooling, but at the same time,
Oh, I'm not justifying the price. I mean, I
No.
say stuff's overpriced as it is, but you
that's
can definitely
cool.
see the changes.
That's cool. I like how he's got the scope in there.
Right. That right there got me hooked.
So
So
these are
if they could
interesting.
Such a
find a way
different
of bringing these
road.
stateside and bring the price down a little, you know,
Well, I'd be out of the game even if these were upwards of $70. I can't do it, which is heartbreaking because these are some of the first things I've seen in a while that made me excited.
I agree, but again, it's just I can't. Yeah, I can't justify this over $100. There's not even any die cast or anything in that. So,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Overgear. Now but things that I am excited for that I will buy that is actually economical, by the way, and that is the AMK Pro Bumblebee. Now they do have their stripped down version of these, Quaid. So if you do want some Transformer representation that doesn't cost as much as these, but this is going to be going for $50, and he does come with Spike.
Mm.
And Spike articulates?
They do have diecast. He looks 5 POA.
Okay. Looks
But
good. I mean,
he looks great. I mean, I'm a huge fan of this line. I do have all that's come out right now for the AMK G1 stuff. This is my G1 representation. I always like to say these are basically, if you wanted a masterpiece body that doesn't transform, here you go.
Yep.
The articulation of these are fantastic. They do have a little bit of die cast in them. That gun was Cliffjumper's gun, though. That was not his gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which, of course, they're going to make a Cliffjumper because they'd be a fool not to, because it's an easy remold.
Yep.
But
yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, the fact that it comes with a stand, it comes with a with the spikes, you can get double annoying commentary in your head from the cartoon.
Yep.
This is a good thing.
And it looks like the hands have a little bit of articulation. You've got both the plug and play hands, and it looks like the hands themselves also have a little bit of articulation as well. So, okay, this looks like an extra from Thomas the Train.
It's the boost, right? It's all about the boost.
Yep, that's the boost.
It has that death stare. So,
yeah.
Again, I'm in on this line. I've been enjoying this. I was doing the 3 zeros, and then these came out. Do I have like that right there is awesome. So
these are probably a little bit more affordable than anything from 3.0, I assume.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think I actually think they feel better than the 3.0 stuff. 3.0, like the joints feel like, because they have that, how they use like the die cast joints to it, so it feels like they're going to get loose. And then of course they jacked up the price on the 3.0 stuff. The Starscream here was $60, and then the 3.0 version of Starscream is $120.
Wow, yeah, that's a little absurd.
So yep, oh yeah, repaint inbound. And what is up, Llewellyn?
Yep. And Titan, I'm looking through here. I don't see a size, but if I do see it in the stream, I'll let you know. If not, we'll put in the comments of the stream after the fact. So
I will say this. Well, actually, I'm looking at how Bumblebee is in relation to the stand, and they all use the same stand. Prime and Megatron are taller than their stand, to give you an idea.
Oh, right. No, he was asking about the Overgear figures, and I didn't see a size in those. So I'll check that out for you, man.
Yeah, I was curious about that as well.
So, listen, the scale in the G1 cartoon was never set. All right, I saw Prime and I saw, yeah. So,
Yep.
That's all our Transformer news, guys. Not have any major third-party stuff, which is kind of cool.
We had no DNA this week.
No DNA.
Man.
But changing things, we actually had a major shift in the toyverse. We mentioned we did hear how Playmates had lost the TMNT license, and now it looks like Mattel is going to be getting the license to it, as well as they're also getting a sequel to Mutant Mayhem, which I'm actually really happy for that. Big thing with Mattel. Well, it was a kids movie, so, and that's.
I don't care for Ninja Turtles at all, and that cartoon was actually fairly entertaining. I was shocked.
Okay, you almost got booted. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah, just about.
They had pirates and turtles, just saying. But this is interesting in the fact that this is Mattel making some big moves and getting a lot of big IPs relatively close together. So, between oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, there's a lot of cool things that Mattel is doing right now. I think the biggest thing that Mattel is doing is actually catering to kids. They are throwing us old folks a bone every now and then, but they're reinvesting in their IPs and making them kid friendly, making affordable figures for the kids to be picked up. Exactly, the kids are getting interested in it. That's why I'm excited for this He-Man movie. And they are properly reinvesting these IPs to the next generation. I wish Hasbro could somehow get this memo.
Yeah, agreed. Hasbro has completely, I think, abandoned that way of thinking about toy making, for one, and I don't think they have any intentions of reapproaching it again.
No, I mean, what they do get involved with, they're like the horse has already left the stable. It's already run and everything else before they finally start getting in. I mean, we still see Transformers 1 figures, and they've already said they've abandoned that movie.
So. Meanwhile, I mean, Mattel has done now has one successful movie. I hopefully a second successful movie with He-Man. Marketing already get their merchandise out, already time things out with their products and media. Putting media out for things. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that media writes itself, literally. You could rehash the same show and tweak it as you want. And there's just with them also, this line has a lot of cross promotion. I was watching Mad Hatter's breakdown of the potential, and he mentioned something that makes perfect sense. We could get an April O'Neil Barbie. They could make a Casey Jones Ken figure.
Great idea.
Not wrong.
So, I mean, if you had told me 10 years ago that Mattel would be taking the point, I've been laughing. I'm like, Mattel screwed up DC. Mattel screwed, they're putting like, wrestling's the only thing keeping them going. You know what? They're doing something right there, and I'm thrilled about that. And
so hopefully I was saying they have all this stuff in the oven. Hopefully they can execute the products properly, and designate what we see as a resurgence for kids.
I mean, with what he's doing here, every company except Playmates has a TMNT license. That's not a bad thing. I got those Legion turtle figures the other day. Joy Toy has turtle figures. Mattel could just do that. Not even bother with adult collectibles. License them out. Let somebody else take that financial risk and just make stuff for kids. Dear God, a toy company makes stuff
Right.
for kids.
Yep.
What an idea. What a prospect.
So hopefully we'll see some good stuff in the future from these guys.
I'm excited for that one. But going back to the Hasbro and of them doing something right, actually. I know, scary thought. And that's the Royal Guard.
Now I know this is not your wheelhouse, but this is exciting for me. I liked the whole thing from the movie with Cobra Law, and especially these guys. I remember having the vintage toy of this, and this looks good. I'm not going to lie about that. And it's a
on a lot of levels.
Well, except for the price tag. Price tag's not great with this.
Right.
What's the price tag on this guy? 40 something?
Yeah. I mean that's a spicy army builder. You know, people complain about Monster Force or whatnot.
We're gonna come back to this then, because if this is $40, where you have 4 head sculpts,
wings,
1, 2, 3, 3 sets of weapons, or 4 sets of weapons if you count those gauntlets on there, the additional battle armor, and Hasbro is charging $40. Yes, it's a spicy army builder, but look what you are getting. The army
There's
stuff.
quite a lot in that box. Come to find, I mean, this is not something that's part of my wheelhouse. I literally don't know what I'm looking at, but for $40, it's not as offensive to me as some other things I've seen.
No, and that right there is the shot that really helps sells it. Because Padone is an amazing figure, and having those 2 larger guys, plus it's a cool tie-in to the Energon Universe comics through Void Rivals. Just saying.
He has a point.
Not only that, though, being oversized, that could actually fit with a Legion's figure.
Actually.
Think about that. Doesn't that look like something that would run with Poxus?
Or even Cosmic.
Yeah. You know what, though? I do not mind that there's no extra hands on this that he's pointing on here, because I'd be having him holding weapons anyway. I'm not I'm not always the biggest fan of extra hands, believe it or not.
I just wish he had some flying hands or fists. If anything else, if you wanted to have extra hands, have someone with a fist, because if all else, you can always have them putting their dukes up. So I understand Titan's comment in regards to that. I'm not looking for 6 pairs from like Valaverse and stuff. Fist and trigger hands for that would fit.
This, though, I mean, look, this is absolutely awesome. And then, I mean, you get the soft good. Now, it's not a wired, but it's still a soft goods cape, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I love I mean, this is an army builder. I mean, I like how he's doing this. The one on the left being with the asymmetric gauntlet on there. Like, he's now more like a gladiator. You get a lot out of all this.
Yep. And it goes up for pre-order here next week. I think the 17th. This goes up, and it's what I say 40. It's like $42.99. Now I remember off the top of my head.
Okay, so yeah, $42, $43, and I'm seeing the $43 there. They charged me $43 for that Desert Scorpion, and I'm getting more on this. So, and it's an oversized figure. Toss that in there too, Mike. I'm just pointing that out. Of adding the value.
I'm not surprised. I mean, Joe's are coming in hard. I mean, last week we saw the digital renders. We got this, and we got something else that came out this week too.
Yeah, well, so we're talking here. Dawn Moreno. Now she is. They call it Snake Eyes. In the comics, actually implanted with Snake Eyes memories. I like 85% of what I see here. It's just I find it kind of funny that they gave her the same weapons that the Snake Eyes way back in the day came with. Machine gun pistol.
and again, it kind of makes sense with that regarding the character that she would go to something that she would be comfortable with under the memories of Snake Eyes. I mean, it's some reuse to say the least.
I
Head
think
sculpts are good.
The one thing I really would have liked is if we had actual sword gripping hands, as opposed to just using trick fingers to hold the swords.
Again, we're talking about hands and things that would make sense. Now, she is a little controversial because, you know, back in 2017, we had a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world, and the whole thing of like, well, let's just switch our favorite characters, gender or color, or anything like that. It was that time frame for things, and this is where, you know, Larry was kind of ahead of his time with this stuff and saying, I'm doing this for me, and I like that whole new path I can take with the story. So
remember, he actually killed Snake Eyes for a while.
Oh yeah, he killed him with that rebirth of Serpentor, and that's when his story started getting a little crazy. Not as crazy as the Casino and Revanche Cyborgs, but I'm digressing a lot of stuff. But yeah, she's available now, today.
Yes. So I do want her. Again, she is in the Real American Hero comic. She's not in the Energon line. And I'm also really liking how we're getting characters from both of the comics in this stuff. So if you don't care for this design, don't worry, because she's not mainline. You can pass on her. There is no nostalgia for her. But if you are a fan of the current comic, you know, you finally have her. So and she don't look bad.
Nope.
Now that we're gonna hit the big one now, which is the Marvel reveals that came out this week. Now, this one, there's definitely things I want to buy. Abso-freaking-lutely. This Falcon is on that list, actually.
Yeah, so Secret Wars.
Yes, this is the Secret Wars Falcon in that awesome retro gear. And he actually comes with the Falcon.
Yep.
I mean, I get why they did the lenticular shield. I could care less about it personally, but that was the gimmick from the original 80s toy line.
Yep.
The fact that they're doing it is interesting, considering that they kind of don't seem to want to prioritize playability or child appeal anymore, and yet it's probably just a nostalgia grab. But the fact that they come
it is a nostalgia grab because that was used to attract us when we were kids. This was well before you were born, unfortunately.
I was aware of them all the same.
I mean, it's nice use of the vulture style wings. And I do like that he is using, I guess, is this a variation of the Sunfire body? I can't tell. But he does have butterfly joints, which every winged character should have butterfly joints.
Yeah.
And honestly, he has everything I'd want the Falcon to a comic book Falcon to have. We got red wing, folded down wings, extended wings, the flight hands. There you go.
I don't actually own a Falcon.
Oh my gosh, Mike!
And this one got my attention.
Mike.
Yeah.
He has a disc neck. He has a disc hinge.
Ooh.
He might actually be able to look up
as he flies.
Yep.
So, now I like Constrictor. This is what I'm very much interested in because I always liked Constrictor as a D-list villain. He was never a member of the Serpent Society, so he's not to go. Was just a independent mercenary. In fact, he actually dropped a dime. He reported the Serpent Society. He was part of the first wave. Last time we had a Constrictor figure, he was actually part of the first wave of the Hasbro taking over the Marvel Legends design. So he actually still had the old style hips. I like just about everything here, except I feel he should. Well, he's using the reuse of the Omega Red tendrils, so I kind of wish he also had the short versions of the tendrils as well, just as a retracted bump. So
What buck is that? That's a modified? I don't know.
Oh, that's maybe a Sunfire body. I want to say it's Sunfire.
I don't know. His torso is a lot thicker, but I don't know. I'm sure there's someone that's much more versed in the body shapes.
But I this is one I do want, obviously. Like I said, I'm a fan of the character.
Okay.
So
I have no fondness for the character, and I still think it looks pretty cool.
I hate this broken waist sculpt. It just always drives me nuts.
Yeah. Ball pegs would be great.
Then we got the Absorbing Man.
Yeah.
This could have been so much better.
It's a fail, in my opinion. Considering the older version beats it.
He's pretty dull, in my opinion.
Well, the part is like they could have taken advantage of some of the plug and play the thing about the Build-A-Figure is you could pop the arms off.
Right, he doesn't do anything that Absorbing Man's supposed to do. Like, why am I buying this shirtless bodybuilder with a ball and chain? Like that sounds weird.
Agreed.
It's for the eyebrows.
Yeah.
So this could have been a lot better, and I'm gonna pass on this guy easy.
He just looks like a WWE wrestler. There's nothing to suggest he's what he's supposed to be.
Absolutely. That's actually perfect. He looks like a wrestler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
This guy's Absorbing Man is one of the most dangerous characters in the Marvel universe, and they did him dirty.
Yeah.
Magic is the cash grab. They basically just took the magic head, the magic arm, and they reused that. They've used this buck, I don't know how many times now. I think it's the Kitty Pryde buck.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say the sword's cool.
Mm-hmm. Head sculpt's good, and she sold out on Amazon.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's one of two out of this wave.
Yeah. Well, we all know who the other one is.
Constrictor, you're right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Not
this one.
Then we get, this one's neat.
Yeah, not this one.
I don't need this, and whoever posed this, I'm sorry, you failed, because
it's such a cool idea, and they didn't do it right. They once again, you didn't do the whole job, because who doesn't like the visual of the symbiote doing what it's supposed to do? But why is it only 25% of the job?
He's propping himself up with a flipping hand. Spider-Man figures should always come with 2 flipping hands, 2 web crawling hands, and 2 fists at a minimum.
What's up, brother Winston? And Akoteki Magic Sword on a Pulse as well. You know what would have been cool for this? If they would have sculpted little clip-on parts for like the legs, instead of making the mold like that, they could have done a play feature and just having things stuck in there.
Right, he's another one.
You could have had a cool Spider-Man
from being a toy first, and he doesn't do anything toy-y. He just sells one panel. I don't understand the point. How you're supposed to play with him?
You're just posing and forgetting because he's got a little blob there.
He's got a little venom.
Yeah.
So then we've got Daredevil. I want Daredevil. I need Daredevil. This is the figure I need in my life. This is the Daredevil I have been waiting for.
It is very nice.
Take this guy and stick him in the maximum packaging and make him $50.
They could have. This could have been a maximum Daredevil, absolutely. And I don't know.
It's got the updated articulation with a mid torso, and I'm assuming it's either a ball peg or a straight thing that's hidden by the belt.
I mean, the sonar effect.
I'm also not a giant Daredevil fan, but this got my attention immediately. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get a hold of one, but he's very cool looking.
Oh, he'll probably show up at a Target or a GameStop.
I
won't ever show up in a Target or a GameStop, so I'm problem.
You say that now. It's interesting. I mean,
I can't.
This guy does have the his batons that can stick together. Look really cool.
Yep.
I like the black accents. As long as the execution is good. He still has the duck feet though. That's the one thing that does annoy me.
Yes, but okay, like this picture right here. This is how you sell a figure. It is showing every piece of articulation that you want to see,
Yep.
including
It's
him
pretty
looking
good.
up again. So
Yep.
you get your two hands, you get your fist, you get your gesturing, like he's throwing the baton. What I like is that there's a look, I think there's like a male figure here, so if you can to plug the batons together, you can take that out. I mean, yes, to be greedy, I would have liked an unmasked head, but I'm fine. Then we also get the Muse and Bullseye 2-pack. I mean, they're absolutely remolds of each other. The only thing, they have slightly different overlays, but it's the same buck, and I want them. I want them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Vulcan. I just hate the drop shoulders, but I mean,
Unexpected guest this evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Good to
Don't
see
let
you.
me interrupt what y'all are doing, but
Nope, we're
thought I'd
talking
come in
toys. That's great to see you.
yeah. How are you guys?
Oh, rocking
Not
and
bad.
rolling. Spending too much money on plastic. Work my tail off.
Well, hey, but don't go too far because we're going to be talking about you guys here in a little bit. So I got a couple of questions for you. So, but yeah, so this is a Pulse exclusive. So that's the only thing that kind of stinks. If you don't have,
Agreed.
the clicking down off the bat, there's potential for this to be missed. But
Muse looks like he came just out of the comic. So
agreed.
I want these. I want these. Probably cost you. I'll probably be complaining about the price, but
Yeah, I forget what they are. If they even said,
come on.
but they will be available.
Hopefully, they cost less than the Game Reverse Punisher.
Well, we'll find out. I think in March.
Then we get. I don't understand this 2-pack of Quicksilver and Black
Confused
Widow.
me too. I didn't understand this one.
I don't.
This is from the early 2000s.
I don't normally think of those two paired.
What's that?
I just normally think of those two paired together.
No, and it's a weird story as well. I mean, this was early 2000s. This is when Tony Stark was being controlled, I think, by oh shoot, what was it?
Kang.
It was yeah. Thank you,
Kang.
Kang. Yes, and they had to go back in time, and they grabbed a younger Tony Stark to fight the older Tony Stark. So
sounds convoluted.
Yes, absolutely. Deluxe Black Widow body, female buck, they should be using for everyone now. Nice accents and face sculpts are awesome for both these guys. Quicksilver, is it a hostage pack? That's the question. If you want the Black Widow because you like the buck and the face sculpts, you're stuck buying Quicksilver.
I've never seen Quicksilver in this particular look before. I doubt it's necessarily uncommon, but I imagine he is not sought after.
Yeah. What were you saying, Dave?
She doesn't even have any gear. Like, she doesn't even have the gauntlet.
She's pretty bare bones.
Like, she doesn't even have the Widow Sting blaster. Yeah, so. Speaking of bare bones, we get the Onslaught re-release. I I mean, I have the Build-A-Figure. You get cool. If you didn't get them, you can get them without having to go to a comic book shop.
This is one that I missed, so I'm
The
vaguely
coloring's
curious
nice.
about it.
Yeah, and you're getting the head that
Okay.
you only had to get in the Build-A-Figure wave. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a Target exclusive. Archangel's got me
dear.
mixed. I got mixed feelings on this Archangel because it's basically let's take the proper Archangel colors and give him those new X-Force wings. But why did they give him the throwing feathers? I don't get that.
because he got a big old gun instead for reasons.
But I'm just saying, when I think of Archangel, I mean, sure, if you have the X-Force one, you can transfer him over, but I also have the first Archangel release that came out a couple years, about, oh God, 8-9 years ago. So it's still a bare bones buck. No, I don't get why we couldn't have gotten butterfly joints on the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets Cable's gun. This is an X-Men 97 release, so I guess spoiler, Archangel is going to be in X-Men 97 season 2.
Yeah,
would
he was
explain
seen in
it.
the trailer. He was in the trailer for season 2. Blue and White Angel. I agree with you, Professor.
And then and then we get this. Our Maximum Thor, who is he's got a thick soft goods cape. Yes. It is wired. Yes. And
I
that's
thought he
and he's
looked pretty
pinless.
darn cool, but I will not pay maximum prices. I just won't. I don't care what he comes with. It's too expensive.
He does look good. He does look good.
looks
All the
very
other
cool.
Maximum figures look good. But no, the head sculpts are okay. I do like he's got butterflies, but he's missing a couple things he absolutely should be having, and he has things I don't know why they're bothering putting in there.
He's got stuff.
I
Nope,
have
they do this
no
every
need.
time. I don't understand.
I have no need for a Toad Thor. None
Nope.
whatsoever.
What are we doing? How much of the
And all
budget
this is all
went
we
into
get.
that new spec?
You get lightning that's been used before.
Yep.
Electro had that. Storm had that. You get... Okay, I like this hand with the hammer with Mjolnir on there. You get a loose Mjolnir. You get just the handle to tuck behind his head, which is kind of stupid when they could have just done detachable Mjolnir. Go figure.
Right, what's that about? Why?
You get the unmasked, you get the unhelmeted head, you get a faceplate, and you get the frog.
He was $30. I'd say sure, but no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would say that the head, the helmet, and the hair are all detachable. Those are actually all heads, I thought. But
okay,
I don't know.
But
Dave, go ahead.
The biggest thing, no. At a bare minimum, he should have had a spinning hammer effect, which we've had now with which they had that with the Ragnarok Thor.
Mm-hmm.
At a
That's
bare
what I'm
minimum,
sticking with.
or a swinging hammer effect. You know, a motion piece as he's throwing it down there.
Yep.
And maybe a lightning bolt, like an actual like a lightning effect attached to the hammer coming off of it.
There's 101 things they could have done. I don't know how much more
And
they think
this
they
is
can take
going
from consumers.
for $50. Sorry, $53.
Yep.
Let's
Don't care
go
that there's
back
wires
to
in
that
his
Cobra
cape.
Law. Let's go back to that Cobra Law figure.
Yep.
4 head sculpts, 6 sets of weapons, wings, and that thing is $10 less.
Probably a slightly bigger figure as well.
Yes, and it's all retooled tooling that will never be reused.
Yeah.
Yep. I think our discussions about it in our private chat has been pretty consistent about this. Articulated Ninja quickly put out a video, which one thing that he mentioned that would have been really cool for a maximum figure is a lightning focused stand that you could put him in and have the lightning surround him, and he's calling it down. That would have been awesome.
I don't know who they're getting with this maximum line. It's been a complete flop from the very beginning.
I mean, other than Spider-Man, which was a good mold that it was on a lot of people's lists, but for $60,
not okay.
No,
not okay.
So, and especially, looking at that Royal Guard, which is that Royal Guard's gonna have that exclusive packaging too. Don't forget that it's gonna have all that pretty Cobra Law packaging, which is money in that too. That is, but jokes that is prestige packaging, so it's probably gonna have better. The box is going to look better than this Thor as well.
Most likely.
Yeah.
This is Hasbro literally has played themselves on this one.
Every time.
Yeah. So for me, if I would go into this, it's going to be the long game. Because as you can see now, both Spider-Man and Hulk are coming down in prices on major big box sites. So I mean, play the long game. Don't give a message back to Hasbro saying do better.
Or go buy the other Thor buy that Ragnarok Thor and buy yourself a cloth goods cape.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
There's plenty of alternates.
Yeah. Finally, in news, we have from Storm Collectibles. I am personally in on this line, and I have loved every damn release they've had, and they are finally releasing their Chun-Li. And she looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I've never messed with any of the Storm Arena, though I did get offered the translucent one from someone, so the translucent, I guess, Kenner Ryu that just came out on BBTS. So I don't know. I might be gifted something.
Everyone needs to handle one of these. This is pure hand candy. This is everything that this scale action figure should be doing. Yeah, Mike, you need to you're doing yourself a disservice. Cancel an Operation Monster Force figure and buy one of these instead. It's
Mike needs more stuff.
And be
Mike doesn't need more stuff as it is, or as it is right now.
Well, I'm just saying, just any of them. That Baki dang it, I went Ryu. That Baki the Grappler figure that I had T buy. It's just everyone who is collects this 1/12 scale should at least get one of those figures just to see what it's like. I cannot say it enough. I mean, this right here is the money pose for Chun-Li for me, because I know after handling these figures, I know it will be able to balance like this beautifully. So.
Oh, Professor agrees with the new guy. So cool.
So, and that is the last of our news. As far for the minor league stuff, because we do have, of course, the most important news that we need to be talking about.
Absolutely.
And that is the Tide-Realm Corsairs has announced when their Kickstarter is going to be going in effect.
And this is why great. I no longer sleep at night.
Well,
yep.
Let's put you on here. Please tell our viewers.
Well, it's a huge piece of relief just to have the landing page up, period, because that's pretty much when the main part of the marketing campaign really begins. But at the same time, then you have a whole other thing, because now reality hits, and once that landing page is up, it means that it's go, go, go every single day, which we've been prepared for. But there's a difference between, I don't know, I spent the last month working to make that happen, and then in 24 hours, suddenly it was done, and now the real job begins. But it shot up by about 300 followers in almost 3 days. So that was
Yep.
very, very encouraging. And what is it at now? 360,
Mhm.
something like that.
We are at 360 bodies that are
Okay.
following.
So it's been pretty steady, and it's only been out for about a week or so. And then I
Yeah.
think 5 days in, we decided to drop when the goal is for the launch. Now it's still, you could use the word tentative. May 1st is pretty well locked in at this point. But again, the factory numbers are still being sorted out. It's just that those gears are finally turning now.
Okay.
So if it went exponentially slower than it is currently, then it could get pushed out a little bit longer. But at this point, it doesn't seem likely. May 1st seems to be a very realistic goal at this point. So that's why we decided to make that public.
Cool.
Now,
Well-
you need to send me a DM about 2 minutes before you hit that live button, right?
Right, just so
No,
that you can make
I
sure
got
you're
that.
number one.
No. He said make sure Mike's number one. Got it.
Oh, right. That's right. That's right. That's the whole problem.
But you know me and stuff, and let's kind of go back a little bit, because as always, I like slides, and I got some pretty pictures to show everyone
Mike's
of
worked hard.
what we've been doing, or what you guys have been doing, I should say, not me. I'm just here to spend money.
Precisely. That's what we like to hear.
But you know, you are one of the few alums that we've had come back onto the show.
We're trying.
He's got the credit card right there.
There you go. But this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to get back into the sea and return back to the Tide Realms. Now, like I said, as an alum, you were with us on the 1st of October, which was very cool. I mean, we got a chance to talk a lot about the line, your thoughts, your history, both of y'all investing so much time, energy into this line. Between the tone and everything else, it definitely it brought Dave and I in, as you can tell.
It was really a good conversation. It was one of the best.
Thank you. And it introduced us to the three captains, Morningstar, Charybdis, and Death Lloyd. And one of the things I think we kind of close out with is what success looked like for the project. And then that was kind of going on, and the buildup was in November. This was the first big step that you guys were talking about in success, and that was a little show you guys were involved with, Legions Con.
A little one, yeah.
Just a tiny one. And it was your first. I think pretty much everyone except for me, it was their first Legions Con, and the experience was fantastic. But I want to kind of hear it from both you guys. How was it to be at a show like that and showcasing your life in toy form?
That's a pretty good description of what was going on, because it was otherworldly to be out in the open like that in ways that they're not completely unfamiliar to me, fairly unfamiliar to my wife, but still in a completely different setting than I've ever been used to. And the constant stream of traffic and exposure was something that you had to get used to really, really, really quickly, because the minute Jeremy said the doors were open, it was the cacophony of noise alone was people were ready.
It's like running a race with your mouth.
Essentially, that's exactly what it was doing, was running a race with your mouth. That could not be more accurate. But despite how physically and emotionally taxing it was, you'd think it wouldn't really be that physically taxing. You're just staying at a table, but it was exhausting. Just getting a break to either run to the restroom or hope to find food alone was a struggle. But despite all of the mechanical, minutia of making it happen, it was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. And the sheer plethora of not only things to see, but the sheer plethora of experiences and perspectives that you get to share with people that are in front of your booth, learning new things about what you're presenting. And comparing notes with all the other talented creators there, and the fact that you can walk down the hallway and, like so many other people, end up in hopefully not the same, but sometimes the same bathroom stall as the very creators of the products there themselves. So it was just a blast, and it didn't stop for the whole 48 hours we were there. It just continued to crescendo into more and more excitement, and it's paid off extremely well, not only because of course that was an investment for the success of the line and the sheer number of people that we have come to us online that got to see these in person clearly appreciated it very much, and that we're most grateful to Four Horsemen for, to be able to give that to people.
And people were super supportive while we were there too, asking us if we needed anything and stuff like that, which was awesome.
We were taken care of extremely well, to the point that somebody mistook us for somebody's children.
Very true.
But this happened.
Well, the smile on your face on that top picture,
Every account.
next to Corn Boy, definitely brings in some
Oh
of
my
the
gosh.
experience you're saying with like the support from the Four Horsemen. I mean, that was
Yeah.
when you guys were setting up, and Eric was, Corn Boy was just walking all around and seeing everything, and it's surreal. I can imagine.
Well, I liked it when I was watching
That was the
when
best
you were
word
meeting
for it.
Robo.
What was that, Dave?
Yes,
I liked when I was
we have
looking at his
Dave
face
to
when he
thank
was
for that.
Yeah, when Robo was looking at from well, now Robo don't know, but when he was looking at his
Right.
stuff, and like I don't know how much you pay attention on Facebook, but Dork Layer actually was showcasing your announcement earlier today.
Oh, I
That's
hadn't
cool.
seen that yet, and I ran into him as well. There's the sheer number of faces that I recognized, for one, and then even more so the people that recognized me was shocking. But I don't think there's probably a better picture next to the ones that I'm with my friends that I'm speaking to now. That one of me and Cornboy couldn't be probably the more innocent kind of. You can see the disbelief and gratitude and overwhelm in my face all in one thing. And it's just, he's been such a kind shepherd of the line, in the most genuine way possible. And he's somebody that we can turn to anytime we need something. The horsemen in general are just like that. And it could not have been a better experience. Now, I think the Deathmoid walking around could have been a little taller, but other than that.
You couldn't
I was
fit
gonna
your
say
clothes.
that was a moment, when we, like you're saying, moments of getting away. That was a great way for you to get the word out for everything. Beautiful diorama pieces you guys had on the table, stickers, which for those that go to Legions Con, that is a big thing, and that was a smart idea for you guys to have, because they went like crazy.
We should have
And
bought so many more. They were gone on that first day.
That's a good thing, though. You were
yes,
Yeah.
Dave is completely right. But it was fun to be around there and watching from an experienced. I say experienced by the fact that I've been to more than one. But the seeing the range of feelings and emotions, and just in all of being in a convention like that. Not only you guys, it was your first Legions Con, but my wife went along, so it was fun to share this nerdy side of things with my better half.
It was great
So,
having Jasmine there.
yeah. But November came and went in 48 hours, and then we had the holidays and stuff. But you guys were still busy, and I got a couple examples here, things that you had put out on the website, and people can be aware of that by signing up for your newsletter. But you've enlisted some really amazing talents to help bring more life into the world that you have been building. What can you tell us about the art that you have here, showcasing the three captains and some other interesting characters?
We have that's the coolest part about those illustrations. We have some incredible talent over at Edge Comics in the form of Noah Caballero, and he knocks it out of the park with every time he puts pencil to paper, or in this case stylus to iPad or whatever. But he cranks it out one in such ridiculous speed that I wonder if there isn't some substance involved. And at the same time, he's so creatively intuitive that he's adaptable. He's very much in the same zone as me. It couldn't be a better match as far as, I talk about what it was like to work with the Horsemen to get the sculpts out. This is pretty much the same process. He's just so anticipatory of what we're after that it's not hard to communicate a concept and have it out there really, really quickly, and if not quickly, really, really effectively. And so these 3 panels here are 3 of several that we've got coming down the pipeline from him, and they're just there specifically for world building purposes and giving people an even more depthful look at some of the intentions and potential that this line has. A lot of these extraneous characters that are pictured beside our 3 main captains here that are the flagship characters for Wave 1 you have side characters that are either first mates or people that have just as big implications for the story as Morningstar does. We have Kezia Capstan in the corner there, who is just as big a player as him. We have our endearing little Snitch the Crab in the forefront with all the Tideborn next to Charybdis. And then everybody behind Deathmoid, I've said a couple times before that Deathmoid's basically your basic vanilla skeleton pirate, not to dumb him down, but in comparison to some of his crewmates, he might be the more tame, which is saying something considering his maniacal grin. But there's a lot to get out of these 3 illustrations, and they're very much meant to be evocative of what's to come.
Very cool. And I wouldn't be remiss to talk about the fact that, while we were going through the holidays, you actually incorporated some festiveness into the Tide-Realm. And I know it's hard to see here on this image, but there's someone special who made this piece of art for the December update. So, Abigail, what is this?
Almost 24 hours. My beautiful wife cranked that out.
It had been such a long time since I had actually attempted to draw anything, let alone a portrait, and I just thought, well, we keep talking about this pirate guy, why don't I try to just draw him and see how it goes? I got about halfway done, and then the next week was Quaid going, when are you going to finish that? When are you going to finish that? I was like, okay, I'm going to finish it. So I finished it.
Well, I had written down a lot of the lore surrounding this elusive character, and we had just come up with such an interesting little, piece of additional world building that's entirely lore based. But there was so much fun in crafting what that little legend was when it came to what Christmas as a holiday is interpreted into the Tide-Realm. And I'm sorry, but the phrase Yuletide could not be passed up. So we had to write a story, and it just helped that Abigail drew what's one of my favorite pieces of art ever now, because it just came out so darn cool.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and that's really cool that, again, this showcases both your commitment to this line, this world that you guys have been, like I said, building together, and it's kind of heartwarming for the old guy to kind of see this type of collaboration. It's beautiful.
It was really fun. And it was just something that we prioritized through December to, keep the month as sacred as we could and take it to recharge. But we couldn't help this one. It was very, very natural, and it was too much fun not to do.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I wasn't expecting it to turn out quite like it did, but
yeah.
Well, I agree with you guys completely, and it's cool that, again, the little tidbits you're putting into the codex and stories are awesome, because again, it keeps things interesting for us as we learn more about this world, including when you both went back in time and introduced us to these drawings here in January. I think you were on Shooting the Shelf when these were first revealed. And these are your gods. So why don't you guys walk us through these 3 characters here?
these three guys are some of the coolest components of the entire world, and they're very much what these guys existed mentally before even the figures that everybody's trying to throw their money at did. They were conceptually what so organically birthed the world of Tide Realms, and it's the nature of each of these three that informed the rest of what the world building and the series at large would turn into. Star Zoa is that main kind of herald of the sea creature aesthetic, and he's the essentially the shepherd of the sea. He's as much of a good guy as these three gods can be, despite their constant clashing. Osius is that god of death and shepherding the things that come at the end of the cycle, and then Hurricane is supposed to be this character which introduces that measure of self-interest to this pantheon of chaos that these three guys are. And Hurricane especially represents a lot of what we like are intending to achieve anyway with Tide-Realm Corsairs, because he is this walking shipwreck, and it's a lot of his influence over the three gods is what creates that maelstrom of conflict that keeps everything renewable. So they're
He's my favorite.
Yep, he seems to be kind of like Deathmoid is that fan favorite of the figures themselves. So much of Hurricane, our good friend Dimitri, put of himself into a lot of our concept art when it came to Star Zoa and Osius didn't have to change very much because it was fairly well dialed into what we wanted. But Hurricane needed some touch-ups, and we both agreed on that when we started working on him. And he could not have brought more valuable input and even more valuable execution when it came to communicating him. And the color palette specifically that went into Hurricane is really, really cool. The composition of the framing. And it took a while, you know, because we had to reinvent him even more beyond what our intentions were in the beginning. And Dimitri was on point. He knew exactly what to do and was highly professional about it. The process was even more collaborative simply because there was so much to refine that there was even more communication gone into it. And these three just couldn't have gone better. And they're very important to the story. And they were something that we wanted people to have a point of reference for when diving into the world as is, because these are hugely ambitious characters. They're not something that, you know, products would be approachable with within the near future. But these guys' whole aesthetic and their entire communication is based around endless horizons. So these guys are very much never say never characters.
Very cool. And again, these images are available on your website. So for those that can't really see the detail, these are not your standard, figures. These are gods. And if you can't tell in regards to the images here, again, because of the detail, these are, to go back to Transformers for a second, these are Metroplex size embodiments of the world, especially with Osius, and you see, like, in the bottom there's little dots in the green ocean. Those are souls or bodies, right? Yes. And Hurricane is actually made of ship parts, by the way it looks, right?
Yeah, Hurricane. He has probably the summoning of Hurricane as like the most cinematic image I had in my head.
Just you wait, Dave. Just you wait.
Well, I'm just saying, if you guys haven't, sorry, I got a frog in my throat right now. But if you guys haven't gone to Tide-RealmCorsairs.com and gotten like a good view of these pictures here, which is of course where you can sign up on the newsletter too. Don't forget.
And again, we're going into this. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dave.
I was going to say, just, you know, that Hurricane is just literally an embodiment of all this pirate wreckage. And I just, again, the forming of him, whether you think of like a Transformer combiner or just this, you know, boats and stuff coming from the ocean floor, swirling together, and then this body just stands up, is just like, I love.
It's a Super Bowl money shot, is what Hurricane is.
Yes. Now
So,
you mentioned the artist Dimitri. How did you get in contact with him, or how did you guys get to meet up? Because I mean, you're getting all this amazing artwork and meeting these talented people. How are you guys connecting?
Dimitri was from Geeked Out Click. That was one of the very first groups that reached out to us, him and his friend John, to do a live stream. I think it was maybe our second or third, perhaps. And so it was, one, just an enjoyable conversation. And then they were some of our first contacts we had ever. So when we were looking to try as best we could to expand our limited art department, I just asked him if he knew anybody. And his answer was a very simple hand raise. And he showed me some of what he does. And I went, "You're perfect. Just let's see what you got." And he cranked it out. I think he started about the same time we were headed to Legion's Con. He started working on these guys, and so by mid-January, they were ready.
Very cool. and now, tying back into what we're doing with the toys, you guys provided a really cool breakout of the figures themselves, and of course, I wanted to showcase the fan favorite that you guys have been talking about with this captain. You kind of went down, like I said, step by step of where all the articulation is going to go into these figures. Um, how was it the process with the Four Horsemen to go through these conversations on where you were looking for particular points of articulation, things that you wanted to showcase and make sure that when these figures are made, it's what you wanted?
We wanted these figures to be just as intuitive as a lot of the things that come from Horsemen as is, especially some things like their 2.0 night bodies are just extremely natural feeling in hand. And while these characters are very different in silhouette, we wanted to communicate the same thing in our product. And they're obviously such experts in the craft that it was not very hard to quickly establish what we were after. And so, what's interesting about the breakdown of the articulation that you look at here is that these are the things that we were able to implement just in the, pre-production prototype sculpting phase. And a prototype as such is exactly that. While these are as close to final as possible, they are not yet. So now that we've had a few conversations with the factory, there's some additional implements that we're looking to be able to make even to what's already here. Some of them we have to go back and forth on a little bit more just to figure out if they're completely realistic or not. But one thing I can say is that the neck joint for the villain captains has been expanded to not only have the ball joint, of course, at the skull, but the ball joint at the base of the neck. So you're going to get a lot more expressive movement out of their neck joint as well. And then there's some things that we're looking into. Those I can't confirm yet because we have to figure out with some of the lines proposed cross compatibility. There's some requirements we want to meet, but there's some additional complexity in the shoulders that we're seeing if we can't make that happen. So my main point is that there's a lot more of the process that you get to explore when going into the production side of these things. And once you have the factory's capabilities in front of you, this prototype's potential expands just a little bit. So this is a very solid breakdown of what to expect already, but there's the potential for when these come out from production that they'll have even a little bit more going on than what this suggests.
Okay. Questions I had when I was looking at the breakdown. Obviously, some of the things we look at here is kind of synonymous with what the style is with Four Horsemen. Not that this is a Four Horsemen, style that we're following. Make sure I'm phrasing this right. But the things like the single jointed knees and the elbows, is there discussions on like how far those are going to be able to move? Because then with single joints versus double joints and such, it really is like we think we talked before, is a balance between keeping the style as well as the freedom to move that body around.
It's a balance between, effectively doing the communication of character that you're looking for without fully compromising the silhouette just for mobility, without losing the extent of the mobility that you desire for a character like this. So the pirate captains only needed to be pushed so far before their silhouettes started to just crumble based on insisting that they do things that a gymnast might. However, these guys, the single jointed elbows and knees were something that I was very confident in, not only because of the things that I'd already seen the Horsemen do with them recently, but because we're working with similar assets that something like the Star Wars Black Series works with. And that line has really, really good success with naturalistic, deep elbow and knee cuts on single jointed engineering. And so it was not very difficult to find a balance between what we wanted these guys' form to feel like and look like, and find a structure there that was intuitive while handling them. So the elbows are a little bit past 90 just for how deep we were able to get the sleeves. And the same thing goes for the knees. A lot of that is going to be really dialed in when it comes to the material that some of those joints are made out of. But these are very standard to as far as how they're supposed to function in relation to everything else that's comparative to them. The Horsemen have a pretty well dialed in idea of how to implement these, and some of the conversations I've had with the factory are even more encouraging with how much we can get out of this sculpt.
So is there a potential to, through discussions, move from the ab crunch hinge to a ball peg in the torso section, similar to what we saw with the Valiant Knight 2.0? Is that something that was discussed when you were prototyping?
So the ab crunch was implemented for a couple different reasons.
Okay.
One of the main reasons being to distinguish itself primarily from the other lines, and the other reason being there is a particular level of cross compatibility with these guys that we've actually just recently been able to implement. It's something that once we get further in with the factory, we'll really confirm whether it's going to work, but we're pretty confident it's going to. So for the ball peg system kind of circulating around the entirety of the figure's form, that's mostly prioritized within what Horseman does for that modularity silhouette. And not only is that something that these guys don't do to the same level as that, but they have a proportional difference in what you expect from a Legion's figure that it did not look very natural when trying to achieve. However, the range that you get from the ab crunch not only achieves virtually the same effect, but because we're able to engineer the torso piece to articulate the way that it does, the neck and collar piece of each of these three captains is actually removable and cross compatible with everybody. So their clothing can be transferred between character to character. So the only things on the captain body that's directly locking you into the biology of that character is, of course, their head, their neck, their hands, and their feet. And those are all interchangeable. So theoretically, you could take all the pieces from Captain Deathmoid here and throw them on Captain Charybdis and have yourself a coraled up undead pirate. Or you could take all the pieces from Deathmoid and have yourself, a standard dark brown skeleton pirate who's, dumbed down the evil aesthetic. There's going to be a lot more interchangeability with these than we thought in the initial design.
Well, this is very exciting, and it's cool to see. Again, it's always neat to see behind the curtain and seeing how everything is broken down. And as we go through with the Kickstarter, it's going to be neat to see more of this stuff going through with your updates.
Talking about production stuff is probably one of the most fascinating parts of this entire process. I love every single time I get to sit down with our production manager, because not only do I either learn something new or have a preconceived notion confirmed for me, but it's really, really, really intriguing to be able to meet some of the needs that we know fans are going to have with this sculpt and push that to its fullest extent with these three guys.
That's awesome. And Dave earlier showed us the Kickstarter. And again, this image I took last night, we were at 3:45, and now it's awesome to see just what happens in 24 hours.
I want everybody who's watching this show, whether it be live, whether it be on the replay squad, go check out Tide Realms on Kickstarter, hit that follow button, and you're gonna absolutely want one of these guys on your shelf. 100%.
Absolutely. And this last slide here kind of showcases what we are going to see from you guys, but also not only are you going to be on shows like this amazing podcast, but you're gonna have a presence in a lot of these toy conventions through 26, as well as some really cool stuff on YouTube. I'd like to talk real quickly about the collaboration you have with a couple of really awesome people that you met during Legion's Con and such.
Absolutely. Terrence and Gina of Creative Realms are a couple of folks that have just kind of come in and absolutely stewarded us in a direction that we don't have the resources to achieve on our own right with how landlocked we are in the area we're in. So they're actually going to be representing Tide-Realm Corsairs at 4 conventions between now and the launch of the Kickstarter. And so ZoloCon being the first one that's coming up at the end of this month, the presence is going to be a little bit lighter there, simply because I know that Terrence has some tricks up his sleeve as far as how to get attention, because Terrence is a good one to go searching for attention. But there will be handouts and there will be information buzz for him to circulate around the convention. There's not an official booth at that one, but they will be representing the brand nonetheless on the floor. And then you move to March, and Toylanta is going to be, I think that's the 27th and the 29th of March, and that is going to be the first full booth layout, and we're talking pretty much on a daily basis of how to make that as effective as possible. The logistics of getting the prototypes in their hands is a little bit complicated, but we're committed to making it happen.
Okay.
So it's just doesn't really make any sense to represent the brand despite the the fragility and the investment that the prototypes are. People need to be able to see these, and so we're going to make it happen one way or the other. And so that booth will be at full display then with the prototypes, and they will be hammering at folks to do exactly what Dave was just so eloquently conveying to people, which is to follow that dang Kickstarter. And then in April, there's ToyCon New Jersey, which will be a very similar conversation. That's the 18th and 19th. I think that's a weekend.
Yes.
And Terrence and Gina will also have a booth at that venue. And then the one after that, which it looks to be what's going to be essentially the finale, or either right the middle of the finale of the Kickstarter campaign, which is IshCon. And IshCon is special specifically because, well, my wife anyway was approached by Ish because as another one of those cases where you have all the important people. Well, everybody there is pretty important, but you'll have the other half of the important people that have, the extensive conversation to start making something happen. They're in front of my wife that doesn't precisely know
know anything.
Well, she doesn't precisely know what she's agreeing to. So he was very much under the impression that we would be there. And so we had to hash out how that was going to happen. And that's where Terrence came in and saved our butts. And that whole convention is actually pirate themed, which is why Ish was so ecstatic and interested in having us there. And so we're extremely blessed that we're going to be able to meet that need in some way. And it's during that convention that people will probably be able to get in on the tail end of the campaign. Hopefully by that point, you'll have a bunch of stretch goals to be looking to unlock. And so there should be a lot of excitement circulating surrounding that particular time frame. So we have a pretty packed next, 12 weeks is what we've got before the first day of the launch. And all of the information that Mike's got right here circulates around that.
That's fantastic news. I mean, I can't wait. Again, ZoloCon is 2 weeks away. So getting that initial, keeping the excitement and rolling on here with getting people to click that notify to launch is really awesome. Toylanta and Dave, are you going to be at IshCon this year? Are you planning
I'm
on
gonna
it?
try to. I am absolutely going to try to.
All right, and I will be up at ToyCon New Jersey as well. So I mean, anything East Coast wise, I'm going to be there and helping rep things along here. So it's really cool.
We have some really cool venues that are set up, and that is all thanks to Terrence. And if you guys want to head over to Instagram to follow him at Creative Realms, they have a lot of things going on because we are not the only Kickstarter project that they are looking at helping market and shepherd into the next season. There's a couple other folks that are working with Four Horsemen that also have some projects coming up. I think within this year as well. So Terrence and Gina have a lot on their plate as is, but Tide Realms is kind of the wave one at the beginning of this year, and then there's even more excitement after that point.
That is
Cool.
absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Now I'll just take another minute or two to do a quick TLDR of this other image we have on here because you guys are making an audiobook as well. What prompted this?
Exactly common knowledge that I had 2 or 3 years prior to this project. Fairly extensive audiobook and voice acting industry history as is. So I did that for a very, very long time and have all the assets to do that relatively quickly and fairly effectively. So it's
That's
something
awesome.
that it's one of the only things that we don't have to finance and also can achieve with a high degree of quality and give to fans at no cost to them. So it's something that we're going to be rolling out during the campaign, either directly through Kickstarter backer updates, and then also on the YouTube channel. So the goal is, whether it's going to happen exactly like this or not, it'll be exactly like this or similar, is to have a new installment of the audiobook, which is essentially a a big compiled volume of year one's story, which is, whether you can believe it or not, just the tip of the iceberg of what this world has to offer. But it's fully narrated. It's going to be fully it's an audio presentation. It's not just a boring old Quaid sitting there reading a book. It's voice acting, it's music, it's sound effects, it's getting you immersed into the world as most depthfully as possible.
Hopefully a little bit of imagery as well.
Yes, that's the other
Okay.
part of the goal, is to work in as much imagery as we already have to work with and some additional imagery that we're still working on.
And voices, right? Are we going to hear some characterization from both of you, potentially?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's going on.
Okay. Cool. Well, that was pretty much everything we really had. We definitely enjoyed having you guys back on here. Again, Kickstarter, guys, go in there, look up Tide-Realm Corsairs, hit that notify at launch because it helps bring the Kickstarter up in that popularity line. So when people log into Kickstarter, it's the first thing they see.
One of the best things that you can do for a campaign is making sure that you are there early, even
Yes.
if as early as you are hitting that notify me on launch button. It's telling Kickstarter that this project is something to be taken seriously. It's putting it in front of people that may have not run into it just within the toy community at large. It's something that if you go to Kickstarter and just search action figures, it's one of the first ones that pops up, which is very, very encouraging at this stage. And so all of those early bird backers are very much what propels a Kickstarter in the direction that you want. A good indicator of the health of a campaign is seeing it meet its funding goal. A little bit past the halfway mark is your goal, because it's going to allow you to have that time frame to unlock anything else that the creator has to offer within that campaign. And the more people that there are in those first 3 days, the better of a chance the campaign has. There's a little bit of a misnomer or misinformation of kind of sitting on the idea of waiting until the next guy does it, because I want to see if it's going to make it first before I commit my money to it. And the cool thing about Kickstarter is that nobody's committing any money to it until the very end once it's successful. So it doesn't hit that mark unless you jump in right away. And that's the best time to do it because you have all the excitement of those 30 days to just watch it rise. So long as if you're able to play your part, you are one of the strongest people in that fight to get it to the top, because it is the fans that make it a reality. We've put in the initial investment to make the figures what they are and to present as fantastical and cool products as possible, but it is the people that are funding it. It's that crowd part of crowdfunding that is the most important part of the conversation. And you guys are the most important component of that whole conversation.
Well said. I don't know what else to say, guys. We love love having you guys on here. We're definitely going to keep up with you guys as we go through, and May is going to be a super exciting month for you guys. Just don't pull your hair out. We're here along for the ride. So
you're here to grab each other's throats and probably tear each other's hair out to get the first backer spot. That's what's happening.
Look, I thought we already worked this out. I sent you the money already.
Oh, right. That's right. All that under the table dealing, that it wouldn't be pirates if we weren't dealing under the table.
I mean, Dave was already waving the card. I mean, but
smacking the camera.
We don't have tap to pay at Corsairs yet.
But
jokes aside, Quaid, thank you so much for making it on tonight.
Of course.
Again, we're going a little over, so I want to thank everybody for sticking with us as well. Again, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button if you are new. Go check out Tide-Realm Go check out the Kickstarter. Hit that favorite button. If you got anybody who's collecting all these cool independent things, if you know people who got Savage Crucible, they need some of these, because come on, Como would look great with a pirate captain. If you got people, everyone who's doing the Four Horsemen stuff, tell them about this. Anybody who's a One Piece fan, because dear God, if they're not, they'll tell you. They need to be in on this. So this is the ones to follow, guys. I'm telling you as a friend, I'm telling you as a geek, this is going to be something that you're going to want to be at the beginning on. As always, we want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll be here again, of course, next week. Mike, do you want to send us out, or do you want? Or
let's have Quaid and Abigail send us out.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. It means young and old, big or small, there are no small crew members on this ship, and it means very much to anybody that came out to take a listen to the long plethora of diatribes that the captain of this ship seems to have. And it just means the world that the amount of people we have behind us right now is already encouraging, and it's a huge, huge blessing to be in the community that we are, and to be able to share what we have to them. And to be here again with Mike and Dave is a whole other blessing and a half.
awesome.
Oh, thank you very much. And with that, everyone, have a great week. Kiss everyone for Valentine's Day.
Thank you for watching the chat.